Good evening. This is evening chat number 2, which only took about, I don't know, a year or two to actually get back around to doing. I don't know, man. Time flies when you're making plans. But yeah, we are now here. It is the evening chat. No gaming tonight, I'm afraid. And I'm just gonna say, I can officially say the world has gotten far crazier than it was in 2016. So, possibility of us seeing World War III. Close. Hopefully not close enough. Basically, I'm just going to get this straight up. I'm sick of how crazy the world is getting because I honestly am really probably going to lose my mind. I tell you, I'm sick of hearing on the news and in ads where everybody's saying, abolish the police. Buddy, I've been seeing on certain news outlets, I'm not saying names, that the people who are wanting that done are now trying to call them because what they're doing is causing violence and overall crime of every degree to increase. Now, what do you think is going to happen if you abolish the police or defund them? I can tell you what's going to happen. Overall crime of every level and every degree and severity is going to go, it's going to go from being down here, controlled, to out of control like that, to where there's no way to really put a roof on it. Who's going to be abolishing the cops then? I tell you, between this, the recession, the pandemic, and everything else that's going on, yeah, it's no wonder why I haven't moved forward with my life yet. It's because I honestly don't know what I'm going to do because of how crazy everything's getting. Well, it begs the question, is there a point? We shouldn't be defunding the dang police. Nah. It's these damn colleges and some of these places that are teaching people who are just older than me or came around just before me that socialism, anarchy, and communism and terroristic ideals are a good thing. And they're not. And let me tell you this. I want all 7 of y'all in this stream and those who view it afterwards to listen. You don't need, most jobs now don't require college degrees, and a lot of people are finding that out. Because let me just say this. I can tell you or give you plenty of examples of people I know personally who still made a very good living without having to go to college. They learned under what's known as an apprenticeship, meaning they went to where they were going to work and they learned on the job. They learned experience by doing what they were going to be working on, hands-on. My mom's mother, for instance, she started working at Carrier, ended up on an apprenticeship. She ended up working there for 30 years. She only retired recently. And she never went to college. My stepdad has started out in the heating and air business back in the 90s. Has been doing it now for close to 30 years. He's still going, and he's about the most experienced man I know in that trade. He didn't go to college, and he has a roof over his head and is doing very well financially. Hell, and a good example is me. My mother's home. Yeah, good example here. I ended up starting my photography. I self-taught myself. And so far, I ended up having a little, event up in Lexington that sold very well, and I had a photo make it into a gallery up in Athens, and it sold. I haven't gone to college yet. And even if I did go to college, it's not like a huge university or wherever they're teaching the prior generation's socialism. No, I want to try and go to a tech school where I can learn a trade, learn something I can do with my hands. It's just right now, the one thing, the very thing that's preventing me from doing that is me not being able to drive. Now, you've already seen I can drive well, but that's only when I have somebody in the car with me. And the fact is, the reason I drove for as long as you guys saw on that speedometer thing is so I could get more comfortable driving. That way, I didn't have to deal with being afraid. I'd like to do that a bit more often, at least maybe for like a day or two during the week. And then maybe in between, if there's time, I'd like to do, the kind of driving that you would expect somebody to be doing, errands, just general stuff like that. So, yeah. Charles, I haven't done any abandoned places since Kettle Creek Battlefield. Or excuse me, no. Since the Hogan House. But even then, I'm not going inside. That place is too far gone and too unsafe to enter. And I honestly think the owners realized that too, because it looks like it may not be standing for much longer. They're probably going to come in and tear it down, but I'm getting off topic. Basically, I'm doing this because I want people to hear my opinion regarding this whole matter of everybody's trying to say, oh, defund the police, abolish the police, Buddy, I've been seeing where the cities that have done this, where they've defunded or abolished the police, I've seen already hundreds of news reports of just general crime exploding. Not to mention the amount of shootings has gone up, so that's just fantastic. But yeah. But, this shows you what to expect if they get away with abolishing the police. I support, and let me tell you this, I know for a fact that is the most stupidest thing that people have come up with. Whoever thought abolishing or defunding police and law enforcement was a good idea is honestly one of the stupidest people in the history of this generation. Because what we're seeing right now, the explosion in crime, the increased fatality rate from like shootings and whatnot, what we're seeing is the result of that. What we're seeing is the result and the consequence of defunding and abolishing the police. And I have a very good reason to support our gentlemen in blue and women in blue. My mother works in law enforcement. It may not be like general police work, but it's still law enforcement all the same. And I mean, if they were to defund, say, her department, well, she'd be at risk going to work every day. Because she's never really able to know, because she doesn't know what kind of people she's going to be talking to. And she doesn't know what those said people will end up doing. So, I worry about that. Because you never know what could happen in that field of work. So, yeah. But I know I said it in an earlier live stream, but I didn't go into it in more depth. But the last time I drove up to Clarksville. My grandmother was with me, my dad's mother. And I was able to head up to North Georgia Technical College so I could see their photography thing. And let me tell you, the stuff I saw on display that their students had made, oh my Lord, I was impressed, to say the least. I was honestly very, very impressed. And the kind of photography I saw on display is the kind of professional photography that I want to move towards. I mean, right now, that's the only thing I know of that I'm good at. But I also know at the same time that that sort of skill I'm good at is no longer viable because this outbreak has virtually killed travel. So, that also then starts to kill or cause, you know, problems for other industries relating to the travel and tourism industry, like museums, historic sites, tourist attractions, theme parks, tourist towns, cruising, airlines, everything else. All of that has begun to suffer due to this outbreak. And photographers like myself, who just do it this sort of stuff mainly as a hobby, are also suffering because a lot of places now won't even let you go to them. Like a lot of places won't allow you to enter in order to, travel. A lot of states are still in lockdown. No one gets in, no one gets out. And, well, I mean, I know because y'all know this because we had to call off pretty much every trip we had planned for this year. So, yeah. So that's a good example. I haven't been able to get out as frequently, obviously, because of it. But, and I mean, we're already seeing the fallout from all this. a lot of the cruising industry is being hurt majorly due to this, to the point where ships are either being sold off or cut up. Which, to be fair, is kind of maybe a good thing, considering a lot of the controversy surrounding these modern floating boxes. Yes, I've been on them. Hell, even a few of the ships I've been on are going to the breakers. Carnival Fantasy apparently is going to the torch, and I'm sure its two other sister ships, Legend and Elation, are going to follow it. So, glad I was able to film them. And I don't know what Ellen's going to do without them, because those are the only ships she can deal with being on, so, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yes.
I'm heading to bed. I got your comforter while I was out, a new one.
Alright. The old one was on the bed, and you'll be able to see how bad the tear in it was.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll patch it out. I'll see if I can patch it up.
I don't know.
If I can, great. If I can't, I'm going to patch it up, wash it up, and send it down to Papa's.
Alright.
Good night.
Good night.
Don't put that on your bed tonight. Wait until you put clean sheet.
I already changed it.
Okay, we'll save that for the next time. You need a clean sheet.
Alright. Thor. Oh, your bedspread, so that's good. Ooh, that's probably going to be so comfortable to sleep on. For both of us. Yeah, Thor cameo. Thormeo. It's not a cameo, it's a Thormeo. Hashtag Thormeo, everybody. THORMEO. Thor. You good, bruh? Dude, don't do that in here, please. For God's sake, that's not good. Ah. I had to put that in my closet somehow. Alright, let me just close this because I don't want to drive everybody nuts. Go on, go down, boy. Good boy. There we go, that way that doesn't get hair all over everything. Oh, what are you getting up for, huh? For God's sakes. And I bet everyone's going to probably make me take the dogs out. So, alright, Charles. Keep calm, drink water. I'm going to let them out so maybe they'll shut up. And I'm hoping you, when I do that, don't demolish this bedroom. I'm just going to leave this here. Maybe y'all could just enjoy him probably tearing up all this, which is going to be enjoyable for me. I'll be watching you. I'm trying to make a mess in my bedroom. Hey, dude. For God's sakes, that's it. Come on. Come on. We're going out back. And what y'all probably heard downstairs is basically how he is whenever we take the little dogs out, Charlie and Chrissy. Quit spamming. You hear? Yeah, what you heard was Thor losing his damn mind whenever I take the little dogs out. He always does that. He always does that. So, yeah. Are you good? Via, you know what? I don't have time for this. Via, you know what? That timeout, Via, is a warning. Next time, I'm taking Maud early. You hear? I'm a teen of my word. Good morning. It's only 10:38 for me. Siren Head. Grab, 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 grab! Hey y'all, notice anything different? If we're seeing things that's closer, don't you think? Yes, I believe we are. Let's zoom out a bit. There we go. Blocky screen, more like pixelated. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, basically, the other reason I'm doing this evening stream is one, I had nothing else to do, so I figured why not talk about the insanity that is 2020. Two, maybe I can get to where I won't be as much of a chatterbox tomorrow. And three, I'm doing this so I can tire myself out to absolute oblivion so I can actually sleep tonight. So, prepare to be on here for a while, boys, because it's going to be a long night. Or however long I can talk for. So, concerning my photography, Series 5, when I last checked, had about, oh, I don't know, 707 photos from 2019 to 2020. So, I guess you could say I've got mostly, this will be the first photo series, if I'm able to finish it, that covers a year in photographs. So, who knows? Possible video title? Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah. Well, train traveler, make sure you get the audio of the whistles right, and it better not be copyrighted. If I'm going to play it, no copyrighted audio, and it needs to be detailed. Understand me? Like Rails Unlimited level of detail. Alright? I don't want it to look half-reared, if you know what I mean. I don't want that game looking, well, I'm going to be just blunt here. Apologies for swearing, but I don't want it to look like somebody half-assed it, okay? If I'm going to look at it, I'm going to want to see good detail and an absolute ton of detail. Everybody gangster till the siren sprouts legs and starts walking around. Oh my god. Ooh. Ooh. I'll be damned. It's the G-Master. Corrupted Knight, my friend. God, it has been so long since I last spoke to you, man. I think it was what? Last time I spoke to you was when we were at graduation. How have you been? My God, I'm so glad you were able to finally join one of my streams for once. See ya, commenter. Fruit Productions via Rail. What's up, what's up, what's up? Also, Corrupted, what do you mean by folly? I don't understand. Like, Foley, is that like just, is that like, this is where Curb Your Enthusiasm would just really fit right about now, because my brain is just fizzling out right now. Is that like some kind of music artist, like a freelance music or sound artist? Ah, Effect Productions, okay. Train Traveler, I don't see why you'd have to make it fictional. I mean, 208's literally on display in Winder, beside the depot there, and, well, I've been to Gainesville, where Gainesville Midland's Terminus Depot is, and where it probably would have interchanged with the Southern, so, when in doubt, Google Earth, my friend. Use Google Earth and whatever images you can find of everything to recreate the Gainesville Midland route from Athens, from Winder to Gainesville. You'd be interchanging with 3 railroads. Well, 2. Back in GM days, it would have been, I think, the Seaboard Air and or Coastline in Winder and Athens. And over in Gainesville, it would have been the Southern. So, yeah. You learned this in... I know, corrupted. Ooh. Absolutely, Wesley. We need 1218 back, mate. Alright, corrupted. Glad I was able to talk to you again. Going back to what, I ended up ranting about, what do y'all think? I want to know what y'all think and what those who comment on this video think. I'll leave this as a question for y'all. Do we all think abolishing the police or defunding them is a good idea? Yes or no? I honestly say no and absolutely no. It's not a good idea. And of course, I've listed the reasons as to why it's not a good idea. In other words, bad. Oh yeah, on a side note that's kind of related, I've noticed REM's famous song, It's the End of the World as We Know It. Oh man, it's popular again. After 40 years, it's finally popular again. Though, I wonder why. Actually, wait, I just realized something. It's been popular every time there's been a crisis. Boys, you made a song that lasts for the you made a song for the ages. You made a song that'll last for pretty much even after the end of humanity. I'm sure even people who come out, things that come after us will be listening to it. I'm sure. Wesley, absolutely. Wesley just pretty much summed it up. Wesley, the thing is though, technically the country's in anarchy already. Yes, there's peaceful protests, but the sad fact is anarchy groups are the ones who are basically causing everything to descend into madness. As if it wasn't insanity, if things weren't crazy enough. Yes, the end of the world as we know it, alright, but nobody's fine. That's the key difference. Nobody's fine. Heck, there's a parody on YouTube you guys should look at where somebody recreated that song by REM, but instead of the events depicted in the Reagan era, it's the more up-to-date 2020 version. So yeah. Yes. As shout out to my dad's mother for conversations beneath the ceiling fan. Let's get that out of the shot, shall we? There we go. Perfect. Only conversation you're seeing now is either underneath the curtains or this horrid hairline. Yeah, seriously, this stuff needs to be cut back to where I can see all of this. Call me weird or whatever, but really, this will prevent, doing this will prevent acne. I can guarantee you that. And I can guarantee you tomorrow morning this sucker's going to be disheveled as hell. Turn your quality up, mate. You'll find it more, how do you say? I would turn the video quality up, sir. You'd find it to be rather improving to your experience, sir, I'd suggest you correct it, sir. And if you refuse and do not advance to doing your duty, I will personally correct it for you, sir. Because I should know, sir, I've always been here. That light it up for ya. I don't. Oh yeah, that was basically the same model. The only difference is when I was leaving school one day, I ended up falling. It was in my hand and it cracked. Basically, and with this one, I'm going to be blunt with you. I've used this one so much now that I honestly think it's worn out. I'm amazed it's still working. Speaking of my hair being disheveled, look here, boys. Right there. No. Okay, did I offer something? Wake up. Reminds me of John Candy where it's like, wake up! Just blows the air horn. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Uncle Buck. And watch it literally right to the end. I don't know if you're able to commission builds on Roblox, but I'm sure somebody does that. So who knows? I mean, I know K&L trying to preserve the legacy of Gainesville Midland because they got 208 and 9, so who knows? And of course, Albert M. Soule, I think his grandson, has film of the Gainesville Midland operation on YouTube. So that's nice. And of course, there's a two-part audio recording made on the Midland as well. I'd say its legacy is secure. Don't you? But I don't want to be about yawning. I think that hints at just how tired I am. Fruit Productions. Good luck trying to catch it. Train Traveller. You might want to ask the train guys if you could use the whistle audio. So ask them before bloody just simply taking it like you own it. You hear me? You ask them permission to use the audio recordings. Instead of just trying to take it for yourself. You hear me? Because stealing someone else's work ain't the way to do it. Never is. And it never pays. I just want you to be made aware of that. You'd be surprised. They'd have to license the audio recordings anyway. I'm sure they license their own stuff. So I say, ask them regardless. Don't you dare steal it, otherwise I will not look at it. You understand me? You ask them if you can use it. And I'll only review it once I know you got the go-ahead from them. And no making it up either. You understand? I don't look at people's rip-offs. Only their genuine work. I'm probably going to end it here. So, I don't know if you lot have a glass. I haven't done this in forever. Here's to hoping for a brighter future, and hoping for a future altogether that doesn't involve honest to God insanity and anarchy. To freedom, to liberty, and to honesty. And to y'all. Cheers. This concludes evening chat number 2. Au revoir.